Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf. In the studio today, joined by Kevin Kraft, Master Club Fitter, and we're reviewing some wedges. We just went out and hit a variety of shots with these wedges on the short game area at Braemar. So we have some feedback on them that we want to share. But I guess your first impression, Kevin, on looking at these, what you've seen from them, and I guess why this category of wedge is so important.
So instantly, I look at this comparing it to its previous generation, and this is much more exciting because we have this tri-grind sole here that in the past we've had a full-soled wedge. So this wedge was really designed for those who play their wedge shots with a square face.
Yep.
With this new grind, we actually have the ability to tweak it open. It's going to be much more versatile than what they've had in the past. Same kind of player. If you struggle with wedges around the greens, this is going to give you a great deal of forgiveness. Now it's going to give you a great deal of forgiveness with more versatility.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little larger size head, which I actually love in wedges. You know, this is a club that's truly designed to go toe to toe with Cleveland's CBX.
Yeah. I mean, it's a game improvement wedge in a sense, and I think there's so many players playing a game improvement iron set or a distance iron set, right? And then they go into a traditional, quote unquote blade wedge set, and the transition there is typically not very smooth. And so these types of wedges give you that option. To your point about the sole, right? So you can, I don't know if I can see on the camera, but there's clearly a curvature there with the three different tiers there. Give you some relief in and out of the turf. So for the player that might be a little bit more inconsistent with the strike and the interaction with the ground, this is going to make it a little bit smoother, a little more consistent for them. There is also the grooves are the Opus grooves, so similar, I mean, basically the same as the Opus wedges. So they're bringing that technology where you're going to get the spin and the feel of kind of a quote unquote traditional blade wedge, but in a cavity back design, which is the next part here, is the cavity back CB. So much more weight on the perimeter, again, larger club head. So all that results in just better performance on miss hits. And around the green, the miss hits can be penalizing in a lot of cases. Obviously, they're penalizing on full swings, but maybe in a less in-your-face way, the miss hits around the green can be penalizing. And maybe your little pitch shot is 15 feet away instead of 6 feet away, which is make percentage of that save changes dramatically. In the testing that we did, is there anything that you noted in particular just on, he hit some shots out of the rough, hit some shots from the fairway? What was your thoughts on that?
So I found it to be extremely good playing shots from tight lies with a square face. And then in the rough, this thing just cuts through so easy. Can throw the ball way up in the air.
I saw you do that a couple times.
I love the flop shot. So, but this is a club you can really do that with, because when you open that club up to try to create that really high loft, the leading edge isn't just going straight up, right? With the grind, it stays down, and it's going to keep you from bellying shots over the green. That's one of the big problems people have when they try to hit flop shots, is they belly shots. So this is just designed, for the guy that wants forgiveness, right? And that's one of the most popular things that people ask for is, I need a little more forgiveness, right? In an iron, in a driver, and it should be in a wedge as well. This fits perfectly with cavity back irons.
I mean, and I think to your point about the tight lie stuff, I think actually the short game area we were using at Braemar, it's firm and fast out there. It is. And so making good contact is imperative on those types of shots. And that's something that I like to do with a higher lofted wedge, even, is almost get the hands way forward and kind of hit this low check and then release shot. And I was able to do that pretty easily with this. And I didn't think the feel or the sound was anything noticeably different than something that's a compact traditional wedge as well. So I appreciated that. And again, I agree with you on just like the way it moves stuff out of the way. So if there was a thick rough lie, right, it's going to move grass, move stuff out of the way, get to the ball, and make.
I mean, you saw it. I tried to give myself some really bad lies out there, and I fluffed a couple, and or maybe a couple more than a couple, and but they all got on the green. Right.
But then they roll up on the green and they give you a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So a straight traditional blade wedge might very well not get through as well, and I'm going to hit it, right in front of me.
So let's talk about the players that are. I mean, we've hit on it a little bit, but the players that this wedge is going to be for the most. So you're in the bay at second swing, Columbia. Players. They've maybe just been fit for irons, and you're talking about wedges with them now. What type of players would this model mostly come up?
So they're going to be primarily mid to high handicappers, guys that are going to go into things like Elite X, in the Callaway line, and then all the game improvement clubs or super game improvement clubs. They're all going to benefit from having something like this, where they can, especially now, they can use it like a traditional wedge that has a grind on it,
right,
but have a more forgiving head.
Yeah. I just like how it feels like any other wedge. Like, it doesn't feel different. You're not hitting this and going, ew, that's different.
Yeah,
because it looks different from the back.
Really clean,
but
it just looks a little bit bigger. But it looks, you're not standing over it going, boy, I'm playing this gigantic caveman club. Right. It looks like a slightly bigger wedge.
Yeah,
and it's got the grind of a good wedge with some relief to it and lots of forgiveness.
Yeah, I think Callaway's done a really good job with this, and they've, not every one of their CB wedges has been perfect, but I think this one is really good, really crisp,
big step forward,
really clean. Yeah, I think it's a step forward. So, if you feel like you're that golfer that, you mentioned mid to high handicaps, but really any golfer that just feels like they want a little bit of mishit help with wedges, the CB12 could be exactly what you need. So we mentioned the versatility with the sole and the grind this year is a little bit better with this one. So if you feel like this is for you, talk to us at Second Swing, schedule a fitting. You know what to do, and we'll get you dialed in with maybe one or even a full set of Callaway CB12 wedges. So, Kevin, thanks for the time, the testing, and your feedback today.